All right. So I am Brian Jenkins. I'll wave here. I don't know if you can actually see me on the camera or not. Well, hopefully. Amanda, you want to go ahead and say hello as well?
Hi, I'm Amanda.
So we're going to be doing this presentation together. Amanda has control of the slides. So if the slides get out of order, it's not my fault. But Amanda, so usually when we do these in person, I like to start off with a joke.
I'm good.
So here is my joke. What is a marketer's favorite type of content? How about, hang on, let me redo it. What is a pirate marketer's favorite type of content?
I have no idea.
A webinar.
That was pretty good. That was like not Chris Newcomer good, but it was pretty good.
All right, let's get started.
Okay.
So we've got an agenda here. So we're going to walk you through a bunch of different things. So we're going to walk you through your marketing plan, the essentials, social marketing, cause marketing, connect the dots, and how do you track your results. So if your budget is very small, but you have lots of energy, I think this is a really good presentation for you. So I'm going to turn it over to Amanda, who's going to talk about the marketing plan.
Yeah, so as we all know, if you fail to plan, you can plan to fail. And I think that goes with planning whatever event you're looking to do, hopefully sooner than later, for your run, walk, ride, or your ticket event, or anything else you're looking to do on RunSignup and GiveSignup. You're going to want to come up with your marketing plan and how you're really going to encourage people to participate. So there's a few different things we wanted to discuss as far as marketing with GiveSignup and RunSignup. We say this every time, but we can't say it enough, that on our platform, your data is your data. We don't market other events to your supporters, either by email or on your race website. We have built in search engine optimization and mobile responsive websites to make sure that traffic is driven to your website. So we have these built-in tools to really help your marketing plan succeed. A lot of races, all of our races are automatically added to affiliate calendars like runningintheusa.com, halfmarathons.net, and more. And our tools really empower you to market your event by highlighting your brand. And we've said this in a lot of different areas, being able to use your color scheme, your logo, your branding is going to help to market your event. We want to encourage and incentivize social sharing so that you can amplify your cause, make your message really repeatable, and then of course provide the tracking that is going to help you to optimize your campaign so you can find out where people are coming from. And all of this is included in our platform. So all of these tools are free to use. Obviously, today we're really focusing on marketing for hybrid events. And of course, with this, there are challenges and benefits. Some of the challenges of marketing a hybrid event are really even communicating what exactly a hybrid event is. At this point, I'm sure we all are familiar with what that means, but we don't really think it can be said enough that you are communicating exactly what the options for your participants are. Similarly, it can be challenging to make people feel safe right now and confident in attending an event, and clarifying the options that people have can be a challenge. And we're going to talk about some best case scenarios for doing those things throughout this conversation. But on the flip side, there are benefits too of marketing a hybrid event. And the number one benefit of that is that there are a broader pool of potential participants. You can market your event to anyone now, maybe not just people in a particular geographic region. You can have a very transparent contingency plan. I think moving forward, we're all going to want to know what options are in front of us, no matter what it is. And being able to be super transparent about that plan is a benefit. And then also maximizing social sharing, social marketing by encouraging sharing with a larger audience. Encourage your participants to invite their friends and family that live somewhere else to participate on an event with you. Encourage people to connect, and we'll talk about that a lot more in this presentation as well. So there are some challenges, but definitely some benefits for these hybrid event marketing as well. The advice that we are giving for messaging for hybrid events is to shout it from the rooftops. You have to be completely clear, open, and honest about your plan with your hybrid events. Share your safety plan so that people feel very confident in attending. Remind your participants a few times of the options that they have. So if they're on the fence about participating, make sure they know that if they end up not wanting to attend an event in person, they can be flexible and transfer to a virtual option. Or if they want to have a virtual, they think they have a virtual option and then maybe they get vaccinated or whatever happens, they want to come, that's an option too. Just be very clear and open and honest about what those options are. And a way to do that would be to create an FAQ page with tutorials on navigating participant management, virtual results, other things. So utilizing some of our custom sections on our website with frequently asked questions is going to help the supporters feel comfortable and then obviously save you time as well. And just make sure that you're being really honest with your messaging about thanking your participants for their support and how much it means to them, to you during this time that they are continuing to support your cause or your event. I also really like this idea with your marketing to your constituents to just lead the conversation, kind of take the bull by the horns and say, like, we understand that this is maybe not be ideal or you're sick of this, but like, how can we make this a really fun, creative, innovative event for the participants? Come up with something cool to name it, something like race from home or cyber running, or I think that's like gala in a box, like for here to go. Come up with some cool ways to just make sure that it's understood that it's virtual and how you can make it fun and interesting for your participants. There's a lot of different reasons why people want to join in on your event. And when you're coming up with your marketing plan, it's important to think about why your event has spoken to people in the past, or if it's a new event, what's going to, encourage people to join you. There's a lot of different reasons, and you want to make sure that you're messaging and marketing for all of these reasons. People might want to participate for accountability, do some kind of challenge or an event because they know that they want to be held accountable for their health and fitness goals or something else. They really might just want to come for a cause. When I think about the virtual events that I've taken part in the past year, it's been because I volunteer at those organizations, or I, got my dog from a rescue shelter that I want to make sure is still being supported. So I'm happy to run a virtual 5K for them. So what messaging is going to attract me to that event? Think about that as you're coming up with your plan. Maybe people want to try something new and they're going to be interested in a new idea that you have that's going to make them want to participate. Obviously, what we see most is the sense of community that the event brings and sharing in an experience. So all of these are reasons that people might want to join. Thinking about what those are and how you can successfully market to them is going to help you have success with your event. Another thing to consider as you're making your marketing plan is what your budget is. And of course, that's going to depend on the scope, the type, and the newness of the event. So if this is a brand new event, if it's really unique, if you really want to grow it, you might want to consider having a 10 or 15% marketing budget for your sales. And that includes registration and merchandise, not necessarily donations. But planning out your budget and what you want to spend is going to help with the success of your event. And this should include annual costs, which could be your website domain, any subscriptions that you need, how much you're going to spend on digital advertising. Maybe that's on Facebook. That's obviously the most common, usually cost-effective way to get advertising out. It could be for refunds, and we're going to get into referral reward refunds, team size incentive refunds, and then of course, any printed physical advertising you're doing, printed materials that you're going to hand out. If you are paying for an email marketing cost, what does that look like? And then consulting fees, graphics, marketing, web design, anything like that you think you might need to successfully market your event. And we'll say this, I heard, I heard Alice and Bob say it, we're going to continue to say this, connecting people to promote the event for you is what's going to bring success to your event. And how can you do that through marketing? And this runs through all of our tips. It's connecting people is just the most effective way to grow your event and improve the experience of participating. So connecting people is just going to be the most important thing that you can do to have a successful event. And then I think Bryan's going to talk about marketing essentials.
I am. So let's keep diving in here. So one of the most important things to do is branding your website. So quite often when we are hoping to talk to potential customers, we check out their website. Guess who else is doing that? Your sponsors, your potential registrants and participants. The brand of your event website is really important because it's the first impression that you're going to make with a large majority of potential customers and sponsors. So make sure that you're highlighting your brand. Make sure we actually have had people that maybe have customized it a little too much and have some crazy color schemes. Make sure that your logo and your color scheme on our site, what we call our theme, make sure they match. We recommend square logos, 400 by 400. We have some great default theme colors that you can use if you're really not sure what to do, and they're modern looking, and we add to them quite often. So this kind of keeps you in the in the safe realm of good color schemes. And then make sure that you review your color choices, not only for yourself, but maybe get opinions from a couple other people that you trust. Next slide. So we recommend within our platform creating a cover page. And so we're going to show you a couple examples of this after this slide. So the beauty of a cover page is, the way I like to call it is, when I first started running races, my first running race was in 1995, they had posters. And posters are kind of a legacy now. They're not cool anymore. People don't put them up anymore. So how do we still have that poster? Because we all remember having posters on our wall or checking out things because of that. And so a cover page gives you a digital poster. So go ahead and put together a cover page because it allows you to visually represent your cause, your event, your branding. You can do some really neat things like having your donation goal right on your homepage and automatically updating. You can have custom actions like join a team now. We have slideshows. We've just got a lot of great digital components that you can build right into your website as if it's a custom built website, and it's all free. So this is an example of what an event might look like with a cover page and without a cover page. And so we, the cool thing is you actually have both of these pages when you set up your event within our platform. So what I mean is that this page on the left, the Vancouver Trail Run on the left-hand side, people can still see that page. But if someone were to immediately land on that page via social sharing, which we all hope participants are socially sharing this event, they'll see the cover page first, and then we've got this drill down information, the nitty gritty of pricing, who, what, when, where, all there built within one site. So here's a couple other examples of cover pages. I really like the sharpness of the color schemes, and they've actually on the left-hand side and actually on the right-hand side too, they've got these images, kind of built in with text on top of it. And the other thing that's beautiful about this is that it is mobile friendly. So our traffic, as you can imagine, is increasing every year, more and more people on mobile. And it's just not that easy to have a great looking page that is mobile friendly and free. So one of the best components of utilizing the GiveSignup RunSignup platform is our email platform. So this allows you to send out emails to your existing supporter list. We do not charge. We do not put limits on sending. You can export your list from your previous platform or previous event campaigns and upload them into our platform. You can also use our supporter engagement platform, and this allows you to build custom lists, such as, hey, people who registered from a certain platform, such as Facebook, or within a certain date range, et cetera, et cetera. You can build those out and do targeted lists. And you also can turn on incomplete registration emails. I'm going to show you that a little bit later with our automated email capabilities. So our automated email capabilities is one of my most recommended features because all of us have good intentions, but most of us lack follow through. So if you enable our automated emails, there's a bunch of things that it can do for you, and it just happens. So for example, incomplete registrations are people who started registering for your event but did not complete the registration process. We'll automatically send them an email to remind them to come back and finish that. Price increases. So many events, they drive marketing and registrations through price increases. So the price goes up on May 1st. Well, we can automate that, and we can even scrub the list of people who have already registered for your event. So you don't want to maybe bump those people per se because they've already registered and you don't want to remind them about the price increase. Our registration follow-up capabilities, the neat thing about that is, especially for fundraising, so if you're trying to remind people about creating their fundraiser or pushing their fundraising page out to friends and family, this is a great way to follow up with them. You also can talk to them about any sort of referral program you have, such as referring 5 friends and earning a t-shirt or a bonus back, such as a refund. And then finally is sponsor offers, which is super helpful. And the reason that you can do that is highlighting your sponsors. So finally, if you get into the actual email sending, one of the things that we do support is if your brand is very particular about your theme, we have templates that you can use. But if you are capable, you can actually add in your own source code, which is your own HTML, to get your branding exactly the way you like it. So we also have an integration with MailChimp. So if you go into the platform and you search for MailChimp, you can actually map certain events over to your MailChimp platform, which allows you to keep a cohesive marketing campaign all within your MailChimp setup. If not, you're welcome to continue to use ours. This is more for people who have a separate email platform. So this is actually one of my feature requests. So we actually have an email capture pop-up. So if you enable this, if someone hangs on your page for 30 seconds, or if they go to leave your page, you can customize this text and try to capture email addresses of people who might be interested, but maybe aren't ready to commit today. So this is a great way to build out your email list from, you're driving traffic in. And again, some people may not be ready today or even this year to sign up for your event, but maybe they'll be interested again in the future. So coupon codes, virtually any new customer who were to engage with us asked us about coupon codes. And our ROI increased in 2020, the usage decreased in 2020. So some of the things we highly recommend with coupons is make them limited time, similar to price increases. Having it expire on May 1st and then setting up a new set of codes, even if there are similar campaigns, is a good way to drive that. And also having limited quantity. So the first 20 that uses code, things like that. So those are really good behaviors to remember when you're setting up coupon codes. Don't leave them wide open, and also try to keep it limited. Another really neat capability that we have is you can set up a coupon code and then build a URL that automatically applies the coupon code at checkout. So if you're doing that promotion by Instagram or Facebook or sending an email campaign out, you can actually have that link shared. And if they click on it and they register for the event, we will automatically apply that coupon for them, which saves the hassle of people coming back saying, hey, I registered, but I didn't get the discount. Social marketing, that's you.
Thank you. Yes. So connecting people, like we said, this is something that you're going to continue to hear us talk about throughout today and any other webinar that you might hear from GiveSignup and RunSignup. Is connecting people is the #1 way to have a successful event. And obviously now socialization has changed a little bit, but we have really great tools to continue to encourage social kind of connections to encourage participation for your event. Our probably most popular form of that is in our referral rewards program. So I know Johanna mentioned this in her last presentation, but our referral reward program is extremely popular, robust, and successful. And what it is it's an opportunity that we have for you to enable on your event to turn your supporters into very effective advocates for your event. And this is by incentivizing your participants to refer their friends and family to join them in the event. You can reward these people in a litany of different ways. That can be through a refund, which will automatically happen on GiveSignup and RunSignup's platform. That's something like you are going to get a $25 refund towards your registration fee if you reach 5 people registering for the event through their unique code. Another one would be something like swag rewards. So they're going to get this really cool, interesting swag that nobody else can get. Or recognition. And this is something for a smaller event that maybe is very budget conscious. Maybe you just allow a social media shout out or some other type of recognition, maybe live at the event where you're recognizing the person that referred the most friends and family. As long as you're getting creative, I think it's just a really wonderful tool for marketing. And we've seen this in our, in the results that 17% of registration dollars are from referrals when events enable referral rewards. So it's sort of a no-brainer to enable referral rewards on your event. And in 2019, that number was only 7%. And I think that's because we're really shouting from the rooftops that this is a really powerful tool for people to use. A few different tips and tricks for referral rewards. The most successful referral programs have to offer at least $15 for a minimum of 3 to 5 referrals. You have to think of it coming from yourself. If I'm only getting a $5 refund for referring 5 of my friends, that's a fair amount of effort for a low refund. So you have to make it desirable for people and attainable for them to achieve. The most successful referral programs also stack their programs with refunds and swag rewards. So I think, to come back to the marketing plan of all this, you want to plan out what you're going to offer people. So maybe the first 5 people is a refund. And then when you get to 10 people, it's a hoodie or something that is really incentivized for people. So you can decide how you want to give out these rewards. You just want to decide it ahead of time and then communicate it. Which I think we're going to be talking about a little bit. So as far as the swag is concerned, a few different things about that. You definitely want to enable all of these before you start accepting registrations. It's confusing for people. You don't want to worry about people that have registered and then want to go back and get a unique code. So have this planned out before you start your registration or you open your registration. And if you are going to have swag, it needs to be very limited and special. You can't give away swag that you could otherwise purchase. You want it to be something that feels really limited edition. So in this example, the Run for the Dogs referral program, they had a refund in one, and then they get an exclusive shirt or a bag. So really cool options that you can have. And then to kind of and again, this will be sent out after to take a closer look, but a lot of tips and tricks. Some of the highlights here I want to mention is, again, making it exclusive. Make sure you're stacking the rewards, make it super fun, give the people that are involved with your referral program a name like the Dog Squad or something like that. And an important stat that we like to point out is that women generally are big referrers. Over 70% of our referrers are female. So if you're thinking about what rewards to get, maybe think about what would generally incentivize women and what they might want for a reward. Another way to come up with great ways to connect people to market for your event is enabling groups and teams. Obviously, this is a literal way to encourage supporters to join together, is to have them on a team together. When teams are enabled on GiveSignup and RunSignup, 30% of participants will join them. And this has been a steady increase and is going to continue to rise. And we have a lot of different team options, and there's a litany of information on this that digs much deeper into this information that we're not necessarily covering today. But teams on GiveSignup and RunSignup can be social, which is just totally for fun. It can be competitive with scoring, or it can be for fundraising, which can also be focused on raising money, and it can be competitive with fundraising. So a lot of different ways to get groups and teams involved with your event. A few ways to incentivize groups and teams, again, which can be automated through GiveSignup and RunSignup, is to have discounts or refunds for people that have a team that hit a size. So if you have a registration of $39, but every time you have a 5 or more, you can offer refunds to the people who have already participated and a cheaper registration cost after you get to those first 5 people. So I would definitely encourage, and again, we have down here how to do that, but I would encourage you to look into groups and teams and incentivizing people to continue to expand on their groups and teams to have the biggest team possible. And these rewards can all be made available within the dashboard and customized to how you think is best for your organization. And then, of course, social media. We talk about it a lot. Facebook has influenced registrations even more in 2020, probably because more people are spending time on Facebook. They're looking to connect in virtual ways. And in 2020, Facebook accounted for 12% of transactions, which is really incredible if you think about it. And that's up from 5% in 2019. And then similarly, Facebook accounted for 24% of web views, up from 16% in 2019. So if you're not marketing on Facebook, you really should be thinking about it because you're going to increase your attendance. A few ways to market on social media is to have Facebook groups, which is really optimal. And I know Whitney and Elizabeth talked about this in a webinar last week, but this is what generally what we would suggest in really encouraging interaction between participants in a Facebook group, getting everybody excited, getting everybody ready. Any questions that you might have can be done within a Facebook group. Having a fun hashtag is going to keep people engaged, keep people feeling like there's more of that team and in this together feel. And then contests. And this is another free way to market your event. You can have best costume, best photo, use social media to promote the submissions. And then when people are promoting it on their own pages, that's obviously promoting the event for you. So a lot of cool social media ways to continue to encourage people to participate. You can control what participants share, and you can also customize the descriptions and the images that are being shown on your social. So as you can see here, you can update your sharing images. So maybe you want to, highlight your swag or something else on your page. Also, we do have Facebook custom audiences and Google custom audience capabilities. So you can promote to Facebook custom audiences and lists that you can upload. And again, we can dig a lot deeper into this with a lot more webinars and a lot more information available on our website, but these are really powerful tools to encourage and drive registrations. I talked about this a little bit. We really encourage Facebook groups for your events. This can be for organizations with very loyal followings and also for large events or organizations that have a lot of events throughout the year to continue to keep people engaged about what's coming up. You can have ambassadors, like we've kind of said, like create people that are going to be advocates for your organization. These are the people probably like this gentleman that is highlighted on this slide that are super into it. They love the challenge that they have. They want to upload pictures of themselves and their dogs and their course maps. And they're going to get other people excited about it too. And the only way to do this is really through a Facebook group. Now, something to consider in your planning is that in order for it to be successful, you're going to want to manage it properly, and you're going to have to be checking in on these Facebook groups, and you have to have an engaged following or it's just going to sit empty. So it's something to consider. Another thing to consider is, does your neighborhood or your organization already have existing communities that you can post about your event in? This is events that have a community focus and community support, and this is important for new events especially. I know we talked a little bit about the Taste the Town event that Allison had a really great success with, and a lot of it is because she was posting in her local Facebook groups, making sure they knew about the event and encouraging people to participate. You don't need group moderation for this. You have low overhead. You create organic supporters, expand your reach. But within this, you don't control the conversation. It's somebody else's page that they manage. So, you can't control what people might say about it. But take the time, build support. If you're doing something positive, we don't really see this as too much of a con. So a lot of ways to engage your participants. And then we're going to get into cause marketing, which I think is back to Bryan.
It is. So cause marketing. So one of the interesting things about our business is that the majority of the customers we work with are raising money for a cause, and even the for-profit organizations that we work with are typically have one or multiple charity partners. One of the interesting things that I have found in my over 11 years of doing this is that many times organizations have a difficulty communicating that this event is for a cause. So sometimes it's really clear in the name of the event, but quite often when you start looking at their webpage or the description of the event, and when I talked about that cover page earlier, real clear calls to action of what the event is about. And so one of the most important things about events is increasing awareness for your organization and your cause. And also, when we talk about Facebook groups, the other thing that's really been beneficial about events and when you're putting them on is the opportunity for someone who may be affected by your cause to find a network. So they could potentially meet new people who are in a similar situation. And that's where I love Facebook groups as well, is like helping create that network of people who could support each other when they're having a tough day. So a lot of people want to register for events. I've had many people tell me that if they're not clear enough on their webpage, that people will email them, especially younger people, saying, is this event for a cause? So really make that clear on your website and throughout your communication of where the money's going and how it's going to be used. So expanding your reach, many events do not offer fundraising, and it may make sense for certain events to not offer fundraising, but we highly encourage organizations to enable fundraising within our platform. It's another way for people to, while they're registering, they can create their fundraising page, and or if they're not able to attend, and now with our virtual capabilities, we can hopefully invite them to participate virtually, but if not, they can still create a fundraising page. And we've had a tremendous amount of success, especially with team fundraising as ways to get people to join in the cause if they don't or not able to participate in the event. One thing that we have really been looking for more utilization is our Facebook fundraising integration. So if you enable fundraising within our platform, this allows your fundraisers to connect Facebook. And what we find is that there's certain types of fundraisers that are highly effective on Facebook. They will fundraise $0 through our platform, but all of their funds through Facebook. And what's interesting is that that is completely okay because we keep that completely in sync. So you can make a donation through Facebook, but it'll automatically update your GiveSignup, RunSignup page. So these are cause first events. And what they've done is utilized our cover page capabilities to really drive home, what they're doing. So on the left-hand side, we've got the Wheeler mission. I know this is a little small for some people, but they've got move your feet so others can eat. It's very clear that they're trying to raise money, and they've got their donation bar underneath there. So it shows you where their progress is out. The opioid crisis. So let's take the opioid crisis down for the count. Like this is really in your face, clear because of using our cover page capabilities that like this is what you're trying to do. You're up, Amanda.
That was short for you. And connecting the dots is reinforcing your message. So again, when we talk about our marketing tools, the important component is repeat, repeat, repeat. Your marketing programs are only successful if people know about them. You need to come up with a plan, choose your priorities, repeat the message, make it clear and concise, like the example Bryan just showed. So if you're going to focus, choose a few things that you want to focus on. Maybe it's your referral rewards program. Maybe it's team incentive. Maybe it's fundraiser refunds or contests, social media hubs, event hashtags, whatever it is, focus on that. Have clear messaging, have clear images, utilize social media, and drive participants to those marketing programs. The tools that we have to repeat are featuring it on your cover page or custom page, adding it to social sharing content, including it in confirmation emails, and creating a drip campaign. We're going to be talking a little bit about this email campaign and some of our email marketing tools, which again are extremely powerful when they are used properly. Drip campaigns versus a registration follow-up campaign. So a drip campaign, if you don't know, is sending out emails that you can automate, but instead of sending them as soon as something happens, it's actually sending them on a specific date or a specific number of days after registering. So if you're setting up a drip campaign, maybe it's 5, 10, 15 days out from your event. Or maybe it's a certain 3 days after that person registers. So it's not necessarily going to be on the same day for every person. It's based on when they registered. But utilizing this and utilizing some of the best tools and practices that we already know about marketing is going to help drive people to your event. Customize these emails with your branding. Use replacement tags to personalize it. For example, the registration referral code link, that's this unique code that person is getting in order to use it to refer their friends and family. Utilize personalizing all of these things and then make it personal and incentivizing people to participate. The drip campaign is really cool, really powerful, and something that, we definitely think that people could be using a little bit more. Some of the messaging could be for referral reward. So if you're doing a referral reward program, you can have messaging like exactly what the referral reward program is, what they're going to get out of it, and what's their link. Clear, concise, specific. Fundraising is another way to do it. That means that you've already registered. Now you're going to encourage people to fundraise on your behalf. We know you love your rescue charity. Now, what about asking your friends and family? What about setting up your fundraiser page? Can you set a goal of $250? You can customize this information. You can customize when it gets sent. Make sure that you're utilizing all of these awesome tools to your advantage. And then, of course, we have the registration follow-up email. That's when someone has registered. You want to make sure that you have calls to action set up, keeping that message concise and consistent. And we do want to make sure that people don't send too many emails. I think we generally suggest 3 and no more than 5, because you don't want people to feel like you're spamming them. You want them to feel, excited that they're participating. All right, back to Bryan.
So if you're doing all these marketing activities, you want to track and adopt and optimize your marketing. So how do you do that? So one of the benefits of the GiveSignup, RunSignup platform is that we have what maybe you may have heard of before as Google Analytics, or just what we call our Insights Analytics. So we're actually tracking inside of our platform where your traffic is coming from. And so we have many different sources here. So we've got our referral sources, which shows for this particular campaign that Google was the #1 source. Direct would be the GiveSignup, RunSignup platform, m.facebook and Facebook. So generally speaking, I would put those together, but it shows you the difference between mobile and general Facebook. So you can see where your traffic and signups are coming from. If you send emails out of our platform, we'll actually track that for you as well. And then finally is custom. And so what that allows you to do is you can build custom URLs and share those out, and then measure the traffic and how many people are coming from that custom URL. So if you wanted to add a custom source tracking link, you can go into our system, and under promotion and source tracking, you can add a source tracking code. This is super helpful if you're doing a campaign with another group. So if you want to measure, like if someone's sending a marketing email out, definitely share this type of link. If you're doing an Instagram post or a Facebook post and you want to measure how effective that is, and same thing with a Facebook ad, you can use these tools to measure it. And the thing that you need to understand is that this is not 100% accurate. It is accurate to the point of this is how many people we know have clicked on this and signed up. But the thing about marketing is that in marketing, there's different levels of attribution. And so if someone were to click on it, but on their laptop, but then end up registering on their phone, there is going to be some loss there. So you probably want to, understand that and say, this is not the end all be all, but this helps me understand my marketing a little bit better. So referral source tracking, this allows you to see within a particular person, you can actually go into their profile and see that this person came from a particular campaign. And within our supporter engagement platform, we will have more and more people doing this, is to say, hey, I'd like to target people who registered from this email campaign or registered from Facebook. I want to build a list and target those people specifically. So that is everything we have. I know Elizabeth and Whitney were on questions. Do we have any questions that you would like us to discuss?
We could give people a couple minutes to see if they have anything else they want to cover. One that is actually not particularly marketing related, but I think would be useful just to cover, probably Bryan, is the API capabilities on RunSignup, GiveSignup.
Yeah, so the API capabilities, I'm gonna take this in a couple different directions. So the first direction is that yes, the GiveSignup RunSignup platform has an API. So it's runsignup.com/API or GiveSignup.com/API. My general recommendation is that we have an integration partner called Reg Forward, and you can go to their website, which is REG Forward, FORWARD.com. And so they've actually programmed to our API. And so what that means for you and your organization is that they can pull the data and the various types of campaigns you may be doing within our platform, and then put that into Salesforce, put that into Blackbaud, Neon CRM. They do not support every single platform, but you can certainly have a discussion with them about a potential platform, and they can do an evaluation of whether it makes sense to potentially add that platform. But they do support quite a bit if they're using Zapier instead of a direct integration.
One other sort of non-marketing related, but again, also think relevant question is someone who's had a really successful virtual event in 2020, and if we plan on reducing any of our virtual capabilities over the next year as things get back to normal.
So is the question like, should we do virtual again, or is it hybrid?
No, just on our end, are any of the virtual functions going to go away?
Oh, so the our virtual campaign, we do not intend to take away any of our virtual capabilities. I do think that some events will suffer from some virtual fatigue. One thing that I do think is kind of interesting is that I think the virtual race for really small nonprofits who are very community oriented, you know, in the work that we do, we hear about a lot of unfortunate situations, and I think the virtual race is going to be an outlet for a lot of nonprofits who work directly in their community, and they want to raise money now and they want to give something actionable, whereas putting on that in-person 5K is something more a foundation or large scale organization will do on an annual basis. I think the virtual race in the future is going to be, hey, a member of our community really needs our help, and we're going to do this as a fundraiser.
I think that's about it for the questions that we got for this session. Thanks, Bryan and Amanda.
Yeah, the only takeaway that I would highly recommend is if there's two things to take away from this meeting. One is we have some tremendous resources on our referral programs. And just to kind of hammer home why our referral programs work is that when you check out for any event on our platform, it asks you after you check out, do you want to share? So we are asking them to share on Facebook, Twitter, or email. And we are embedding a tracking link into that process. So that's why it works so well, is that we're asking them at hopefully their highest and most happiest point. They've paid and they're ready to go. And then we're gonna track it automatically without them having to put in a special code or do anything. And then the other thing is, if you are an organization that does not have a Facebook group, I would highly recommend building out a Facebook group, if it only to do two things. One is create a network and a community that people can talk among each other. There's definitely overhead in keeping sure that people are being civil to each other. But when you go to do a fundraiser or an event, or you have a need, so if a member of your community really needs help, hopefully you've got 300, 500. I was just told about a group that was 8,000 that was built kind of over a few weeks. These things are really powerful when you're trying to work within a specific group of people. It's not like it's going to be a powerhouse, but it is another way to communicate with people very effectively and free.
All right, thank you. So we're going to take another break. We'll be back at 3 o'clock for event day tools, tech, and timeline. So you're welcome to hop off or take a little break, and we'll meet you back here in 16 minutes.